Welcome to a journey into one of the most brutally honest and life-changing perspectives ever shared. This isn't about sugarcoating life or offering shallow advice to just smile more. Instead, it dares you to look at life with complete clarity, to confront the truths you've been avoiding. You don't have to care about everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to endlessly chase happiness, success, or popularity. Your true power lies in choosing what genuinely matters and bravely letting go of the rest. This message is inspired by Mark Manson's groundbreaking work, which we'll explore as The Subtle Art of Not Caring. His raw, honest insights have shifted millions of lives by daring to state what most motivational books shy away from. That life inherently involves pain, that happiness is often temporary, and that failure is an inevitable part of the human experience. And precisely because of these truths, you must stop chasing everything and begin choosing wisely. If you're weary of hearing the same old empty advice, just think positive, just work harder, just be happy, then consider this your urgent wake-up call. This isn't an attempt to comfort you. It's here to awaken you, to shake you to your core, and to compel you to examine your life with unvarnished honesty. This is for anyone feeling lost, for those trying to appease everyone around them, for individuals drowning in anxiety, pressure, and confusion, and for the silent scream inside that says, "I don't know what I'm doing, and I can't keep living like this." This discussion isn't about promoting fake positivity. It's about embracing reality and reclaiming your power by learning to let go. Letting go of caring what others think. Letting go of the pursuit of meaningless goals. Letting go of the illusion that you must be happy at all times. And finally, choosing to live your life authentically on your own terms. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is more than just a summary. It's a mirror. And if you possess the courage to gaze into it, your life might never be the same. Chapter 1, Don't Try. This opening chapter delivers a profound message. The secret to a good life isn't about caring about more things. It's about caring about fewer things, but caring deeply about what truly matters. Yet Mark Manson illustrates this with the story of Charles Bukowski, a writer who found success late in life, whose tombstone famously reads, "Don't try." This isn't an invitation to give up. It's a powerful directive to stop pretending, stop forcing, and stop trying to be someone you're not. You're exhausted not from laziness, but from the relentless effort to be perfect in every aspect of your life. You strive to look perfect, speak flawlessly, be universally liked, productive every hour, always smiling, rich, happy, admired, envied, intelligent. But do you genuinely care about any of this, or are you merely trying because the world has convinced you that you must? We inhabit a culture that constantly urges us to try harder, grind harder, be better, be more. Yet, the honest truth this chapter reveals is that the more you obsessively chase being better, the more you subconsciously reinforce the belief that you are currently not enough. Trying too hard to be perfect, positive, wealthy, famous, or admired is often a symptom of deep-seated insecurity masked as ambition. Consider Emily, 24, whose Instagram feed overflows with joyous photos, smiling friends, and inspirational quotes. Off screen, however, she feels isolated, empty, and confused. Every post is for external validation, not for her own truth. She's not trying to be happy. She's merely trying to appear happy. Her relentless effort has caused her to lose sight of her true self. Compare her to Daniel, who rarely posts online. He quietly dedicates himself to what genuinely matters to him, saying no to drama, external pressure, and the illusion of perfection. He isn't striving to impress. He is simply living in alignment with his authentic values. That is the profound power of not trying. The deepest lesson is to cease trying to be impressive and instead begin to be real. Don't chase 100 goals, select 3 that hold genuine significance. Don't strive to please 100 people, invest deeply in the 5 who truly know your heart. And critically, stop trying to avoid pain or run from your flaws. Accept them, live with them, and allow them to be catalysts for your growth. Because it is only when you stop trying to be someone else that you finally become the person you were meant to be. Instead of trying to impress everyone, be honest with a select few. Instead of presenting a perfect online image, be real with yourself. Instead of always being productive, focus on what truly matters. Instead of avoiding pain and flaws, accept and grow from them. Instead of copying others, discover your own unique values. We often lavish too much care on trivialities and neglect what truly counts. So, this is your wake up call. Let go. Breathe. You don't need to be amazing. You simply need to be you and to care about the right things. That is the dawn of true freedom, the first step towards genuine power, and the beginning of this transformative journey. Chapter 2: Happiness is a Problem. Most people mistakenly believe that happiness is the ultimate goal of life. They declare, "I just want to be happy," and then pursue it relentlessly, accumulating more money, a better physique, a larger home, more social media likes, greater attention, and increased success, convinced that happiness will eventually arrive as a reward. However, the brutal truth this chapter exposes is that happiness is not a goal. It is a byproduct of solving meaningful problems. Let that resonate deeply. You do not achieve happiness by running away from problems. You achieve it by courageously solving the right ones. Mark Manson explains that life will never be devoid of problems. There is no future scenario where everything is effortlessly easy, perpetually calm, and entirely painless. If you are financially struggling, you face money problems. If you are wealthy, you contend with greater financial responsibilities and issues of trust. If you are single, you may experience loneliness. If you are in a relationship, you navigate conflicts, jealousy, and compromise. If you are unknown, you might feel invisible. If you are famous, you are scrutinized 24 hours a day. Every facet of life inherently carries a different kind of pain. The only genuine choice you possess is which pain you are willing to embrace and live with. Consider Adam, who works an ordinary job, earning a decent income, but dreams of immense wealth. He tells himself, "Once I'm rich, I'll finally be happy." So Adam resigns and launches a business. Now, he's constantly stressed, sleeps very little, lives in fear of failure, argues with his family, and feels utterly alone. Adam is not free, he is in profound pain. But here is the critical twist: that pain is not a mistake. It is the inherent price of meaning. If Adam is engaged in solving a problem he genuinely cares about, if he is building something that holds deep personal significance, then that pain transforms into fuel. It becomes undeniably worth it. Conversely, if he is merely chasing money without any passion for the work itself, that pain devolves into pure suffering, leading him to inevitably quit. The secret isn't to avoid problems altogether. The secret is to consciously choose the problems that imbue your life with a profound sense of meaning. Working out is physically demanding, but if you value your health, that discomfort feels deeply satisfying. Writing a book is arduous, but if you are passionate about sharing your story, that difficulty feels beautiful. Raising a child is incredibly stressful, but if you prioritize love, that stress becomes profoundly worthwhile. The false notion is that happiness means no problems. The truth is that life always presents problem. Believing that getting rich will make you happy only leads to more money and different problems. Thinking that success will end your pain is mistaken. Success merely brings new forms of pain. Assuming happiness comes from external sources is a delusion. Happiness emerges from solving what truly matters. The essential question to ask yourself is, what pain am I willing to suffer for? What problems feel genuinely worth solving every single day? That is your authentic path. That is where your true happiness lies. Not in escape, not in the pursuit of perfection, but in meaningful struggle. The quality of your life is directly determined by the quality of your problems. So do not chase a pain-free existence. Chase a purposeful life. Choose better problems, and happiness will quietly follow, not as a goal to be captured, but as a natural, profound result. Chapter 3, You Are Not Special. This chapter hits like a powerful slap, but it's the kind of jolt you need to awaken from the pervasive lie you've been fed your entire life. We've all been told, you're special, you're amazing, you can be anything. But Mark Manson argues that this very belief is harming you, not helping you. Why? Because if you truly believe you are special, you will inevitably conclude that your problems are unique, that no one could possibly comprehend your pain, and that you inherently deserve more than others without having to earn it through effort. The brutal truth is that feeling special is often a thinly veiled mask for profound insecurity. Believing you are inherently superior to others is merely another tactic to avoid confronting your own flaws. The more you cling to the idea that I'm different, the more challenging it becomes to accept the normal, universal pain that is part of the human condition. You develop a sense of entitlement. You become angry when life fails to treat you like a hero. You constantly compare yourself to others, wondering why they succeed while you don't. And deep down, you attribute blame to the world rather than taking personal responsibility. Consider Sarah, who grew up constantly being told, you're special, and was lavishly praised for every minor achievement. Now, as an adult, she expects life to treat her like royalty. But the moment she steps into the real world, she encounters rejection, fierce competition, and inevitable failure. Instead of adapting and learning, she feels personally insulted. She protests, "I deserve better than this." She genuinely believes her pain is unjust. But here is the undeniable truth. No one is immune to pain. No one is too special for struggle. Believing you are special actually hinders your growth because it makes you resistant to facing your own weaknesses. Humility is true power. The exact moment you accept that you are not special, that you are just a human being like everyone else, is the moment you finally become free. You realize you are not above hard work, nor are you entitled to success. You are simply a human being trying to navigate life just like everyone else. And that realization in itself is beautiful. The false belief is, "I'm too special to fail." The truth is, failure is a normal part of everyone's journey. The thought, "No one understands me," gives way to the understanding that your pain is an inherent part of being human. The expectation, "I deserve success easily," transforms into the knowledge that you must earn it, just like everyone else. The idea, "I'm different from others," evolves into the acceptance that you are human, just like the rest of humanity. When you relinquish the need to be special, you stop desperately chasing attention. You stop needing constant applause. You begin to focus on what genuinely matters, your values, your personal growth, your conscious choices. You become grounded, you become responsible, and most importantly, you become real. Once you accept that you are not special, you can finally begin to build a life that truly is. Let go of your ego. Let go of your sense of entitlement. Embrace your flaws. Be normal. Be honest. Be human. That is where your true strength profoundly begins. Chapter 4. The value of suffering. Who you are is fundamentally defined by what you are willing to struggle for. This chapter offers a hard, unfiltered examination of pain, not as a punishment, but as an indispensable compass. Every human being desires to be happy, confident, respected, and successful. Yet, very few ever pause to ask themselves the single most important question. What kind of pain am I willing to endure for the life I genuinely desire? Most people instinctively chase comfort. They yearn for an easy existence. But here is the profound truth, and this chapter's most vital lesson. Comfort actively destroys growth. However, suffering, when consciously chosen and wisely embraced, becomes your greatest teacher. We have been conditioned to avoid pain at all costs. Don't feel sad. Don't feel angry. Don't feel anxious. Just be happy, stay calm, and think positive. But this pervasive thinking is toxic. It instills the belief that something is inherently wrong with you whenever you experience suffering. It tells you that sadness is a weakness and pain is a failure. But Mark Manson radically inverts this perspective. He asserts pain is not the problem. Avoiding pain is the problem. Consider Hiroshi, who works a quiet job in Tokyo. He possesses no passion for it, no joy, yet it offers stability. Every morning, he awakens, dons his suit, and disappears into a life that is slowly, subtly killing him inside. He doesn't complain. He doesn't cry. He doesn't even scream. He simply suffers silently, a dull, gray, pervasive suffering, because he is terrified of the other kind of pain. He is scared of the inherent risk in chasing a dream of writing, of failing, of falling, of appearing foolish. So instead, he suffers safely. But here lies the tragedy. His life is still overflowing with pain, just not meaningful pain. This is precisely the kind of suffering Mark warns us about. You do not get to choose a pain-free life, but you absolutely get to choose your type of suffering. You can suffer in a meaningless job, or you can suffer meaningfully while passionately building your dream. You can suffer in a toxic relationship, or you can suffer through the pain of leaving and growing stronger alone. You can suffer from presenting fake confidence, or you can suffer constructively while building genuine courage. The key is not to avoid pain. It is to consciously choose the pain that leads to something profoundly worth living for. The misconception is, pain means I'm broken. The truth is, pain means I'm growing. The belief that happiness equals no suffering is false. Happiness emerges from meaningful suffering. The idea, if I avoid pain, I'll be okay, is a delusion. If you avoid pain, you inevitably avoid growth. The thought, struggle is bad, is countered by the truth that struggle is absolutely necessary for building and solidifying your values. The crucial question to ask yourself, what pain in my life is teaching me something meaningful? Do not run from it. Face it directly. Learn invaluable lessons from it. Allow it to powerfully shape you, because your pain possesses a profound purpose. If you are willing to look directly into its depths, that pain can give birth to a version of yourself that nothing in the world can ever break. What we choose to genuinely care about, what we are truly willing to suffer for, ultimately defines who we are. So do not ask, how can I avoid pain? Instead, ask, what am I willing to suffer for that will fill me with pride at the end of my life? Now, let's continue, because what follows will challenge your deepest beliefs even further. Chapter 5, you are always choosing. Everything you do, everything you feel, everything you are is ultimately a choice. This chapter unveils a radical truth. Even when you feel utterly powerless, you are still actively choosing. Even when life seems entirely out of your control, your reaction to it remains undeniably yours. Most people resist hearing this. They prefer to believe that their suffering is someone else's fault, that their failures are due to external circumstances, and that their sadness is caused by others. But Mark Manson challenges you to embrace complete ownership, not just for your actions, but for your reactions, your emotions, and your very identity. During the horrors of World War II, Viktor Frankl was imprisoned in a concentration camp. He lost his entire family. He was tortured, starved, and systematically dehumanized. Yet, he discovered a profound truth that altered everything. His fundamental freedom to choose his response could never be taken away. He famously stated, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Even in the depths of hell, Viktor Frankl chose dignity. He chose to live with meaning. He chose to perceive suffering as a pathway to purpose. No matter what devastating events befall you, you still retain the power to choose your response. You still get to choose how you speak, what you focus your attention on, and ultimately, who you become. You are not responsible for every single thing that happens in your life, but you are always, unequivocally, responsible for how you react to it. Consider Jasmine, who grew up in a fractured home. Her father abandoned the family, and her mother battled depression. Now, as an adult, Jasmine feels perpetually angry. She asserts, "It's not my fault. I didn't choose this pain." And that is true. But here is the crucial shift. She may not have caused her pain, but she still has the profound choice of what to do with it. She can choose to remain bitter, or she can choose to heal. She can choose to blame forever, or she can choose to rebuild herself. That is the precise moment her life truly changes, when she stops passively waiting for someone else to fix her and begins taking active responsibility for her next crucial move. The common excuse is, "It's not my fault." The truth is, it may not be, but it's still your choice. The belief, "I didn't choose this pain," is met with the reality that you do choose what to do with it. The lament, "Life is unfair," is true, but you still choose how you show up. The thought, "They made me feel this way," is challenged by the truth that only you ultimately control your own emotions. The three fundamental choices you always control are: 1. What you genuinely care about; 2. How you interpret events; and 3. What you choose to do next. These choices are your inherent power, and no one, not your past, not your family, not your failures, can ever take that away from you. The more responsibility you willingly embrace, the more power you gain to profoundly change your life. Stop waiting. Stop blaming. Stop proclaiming, "It's not fair." Start choosing. Start building. Start becoming the kind of person who fully owns their entire story. Chapter 6. You're wrong about everything, but so am I. The insatiable desire for certainty is the most formidable enemy of growth. This chapter begins with one of the most shocking, yet profoundly liberating ideas in the entire book. You are wrong. I am wrong. We are all wrong. And that, surprisingly, is perfectly okay. Most people spend their lives desperately trying to be right all the time. They argue fiercely to prove their correctness. They strive to demonstrate others' errors to feel intelligent. They cling tenaciously to beliefs, not because those beliefs are demonstrably true, but because those beliefs provide a comforting sense of safety. But Mark Manson declares that improvement in any endeavor is fundamentally built upon thousands of tiny failures. And the true magnitude of your eventual success is directly proportional to how many times you were willing to fail at something. Let's dissect this with the utmost honesty and power. You are wrong about what will genuinely make you happy, about who you truly are, about what you deeply believe. Get about what matters most, and even about what success truly looks like. Why? Because your brain was primarily constructed for survival, not for absolute truth. It prioritizes comfort over stark reality. It seeks confirmation of existing biases over genuine correction. It yearns to be right, even when the evidence clearly indicates otherwise. Imagine you are handed a detailed map of London, but you are actually standing in the heart of Paris. You diligently attempt to navigate the Parisian streets using that London map. You repeatedly get lost. You become intensely frustrated. You exclaim, "The world is utterly confusing." But the truth is, you are not confused. You are simply employing the incorrect map. This analogy perfectly describes how many people navigate their lives. They are attempting to solve life's complex challenges using beliefs and assumptions that are entirely outdated, fundamentally incorrect, or simply inherited without critical examination. They mistakenly believe that money will bring inner peace. They think that relationships will magically mend their feelings of emptiness. They are convinced that success will miraculously heal their low self-worth. But all of these deeply held convictions are based on flawed mental maps. Mark Manson is not advocating for a complete abandonment of all beliefs. He is urging you to constantly, rigorously question your beliefs, because only through this continual questioning can true growth occur. Growth fundamentally arises from the admission, I might be wrong, but I am genuinely willing to learn what is right. The fixed mindset of I know who I am transforms into huda-hudaness. I'm actively figuring out who I am. The need to be certain before acting gives the understanding that action itself creates clarity. The statement, I was always taught this, evolves into maybe it's time to update that belief. The conviction, I'm right, they're wrong, softens to maybe we both have something valuable to learn. Consider the belief, I'm not good at public speaking. This belief might originate from a single negative experience in 10th grade. Perhaps someone laughed at you, and now for years, you've internalized and repeated the mantra, I can't speak in front of others. But is that truly an immutable truth? No, it was merely a moment, not an absolute truth. Yet, you transformed it into a rigid belief, and now it profoundly shapes your entire life. This chapter teaches us to bravely say, maybe I was wrong about myself. Maybe I'm not inherently scared of speaking. Maybe I'm scared of judgment. Maybe I can change. Maybe I can learn. This transformative mindset is precisely how individuals attain genuine freedom. Growth is not about miraculously discovering the single, perfect, right answer. Growth is about the continuous process of replacing wrong answers with slightly less wrong ones. So, do not be paralyzed by the fear of being wrong. Instead, be deeply afraid of staying wrong. Allow your ego to diminish so that your authentic truth can truly live and flourish. Chapter 7, Failure is the way forward. If you find yourself stuck in life, the solution is remarkably simple. Fail more. Fail faster. Fail forward. This chapter utterly demolishes the pervasive myth of instant, effortless success. Most people hold the belief that if I fail, it means I'm not good enough. If I fail, I should immediately quit. If I fail, I'll appear foolish. If I fail, people will inevitably laugh at me. But Mark Manson unequivocally states, failure is not the opposite of success. It is the indispensable path to success. A compelling study once compared two groups learning to type. Group A was meticulously instructed to type perfectly, avoid all mistakes. Group B was told type fast, make mistakes. Just keep going. Which group improved at a faster rate? Group B. Because the more they failed, the more they learned. They received immediate, crucial feedback. They didn't get bogged down in perfectionism. They got better through continuous action, not by passively waiting to achieve an unattainable state of perfection. Most people remain stuck precisely because they never even begin. They utter phrases like, "Oh, I'm not ready. I need more information. What if I fail?" So they endlessly plan, they endlessly watch, they endlessly wait. And life, regrettably, passes them by. But this chapter imparts the vital lesson that the only genuine way to build confidence is to act before you feel entirely ready. True progress stems from motion, not from a fleeting burst of motivation. Every success story you admire, every accomplished author, celebrated artist, innovative entrepreneur, or elite athlete is the direct result of thousands of invisible failures. You only witness their curated highlight reel, but you fail to see the countless rejected manuscripts, the lost clients, the sleepless nights, the failed products, the public embarrassments. Yet, they persevered, not because they were utterly fearless, but because they possessed the profound willingness to fail repeatedly for what truly mattered to them. The misguided belief is, "I should avoid failure." The truth is, you should actively learn from failure. The thought, "I'll wait until I feel ready," is challenged by the reality that you will never feel completely ready. You must start anyway. The fear, "If I fail, I'm a loser," is replaced by the understanding that if you fail, you are actively learning. The notion that success is about being smart gives way to the truth that success is fundamentally about being consistent through the inevitable process of failure. The three golden rules from Chapter 7 are: 1. Action is greater than motivation. Do not passively wait to feel motivated. Take action. Action inherently creates momentum. 2. Mistakes are data. Every single failure provides you with valuable information. Pay close attention and adapt your approach. 3. Progress equals messy. It is absolutely not supposed to be clean or linear. If your journey appears messy, you are unequivocally doing it right. Imagine someone launching a YouTube channel. Their initial 20 videos each garner a mere 10 views. They feel acutely embarrassed. They think, "Perhaps I'm just not good at this." But what they fail to realize is that those 20 failures are the essential tuition fee for their future success. Every less than perfect video teaches them crucial lessons about better editing, more compelling storytelling, more engaging titles, and greater on-camera confidence. And then one day, their 21st video goes viral and everyone exclaims, "Wow, they're so lucky." But they are not lucky. They are meticulously trained by failure. That is the authentic path. Do not passively hope for success. Actively hope for good problems, because every significant success is built upon a towering mountain of failures. And every mountain, no matter how daunting, is ultimately climbed one failure at a time. Do not fear failure. Instead, fear regret, fear waiting too long to start, fear living a life where you never once granted yourself the sacred permission to try. Chapter 8, The Importance of Saying No. The undeniable mark of a truly mature person is their cultivated ability to say no to things that do not matter and a resounding yes to things that genuinely do. This chapter is not merely about setting boundaries. It is about attaining profound freedom. We exist in a world where everything clamors for our attention, constant notifications, relentless expectations, endless invitations, unsolicited opinions, pervasive social media, crushing work pressure, family drama, and the urge to please everyone. And most people never say no because they are consumed by fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of hurting others' feelings. Fear of being disliked. Fear of appearing rude. So they habitually say yes to everything, and in doing so, they end up feeling miserable, scattered, utterly exhausted, and profoundly lost. Mark Manson radically flips this mindset and presents you with the unvarnished truth. Every single time you say yes to something that doesn't truly matter, you are simultaneously saying no to something that absolutely does. Most people mistakenly believe that saying no is inherently selfish, cold, or rude. But in truth, saying no is the most self-respecting and life-clarifying decision you can possibly make. Because every no you utter to toxic friendships, to wasted time, to unnecessary obligations, to detrimental habits, to distracting influences, to meaningless goals is a powerful yes to inner peace, unwavering focus, personal growth, profound self-respect, clear purpose, and tangible progress. Imagine Alex, a man who desperately wants to be successful. He is kind, always helpful, and habitually says yes to every request. His boss asks, "Can you complete this extra task tonight?" He says yes. His friend says, "Can you help me move this weekend?" He says yes. A distant cousin invites him to a tedious wedding. He says yes. Everyone adores him. But internally, Alex is drowning. He has no time to dedicate to his dream project, no time to read, no time to rest, no time to even breathe, because his entire life belongs to everyone except himself. That is the perilous danger of being a yes machine. Consider your goal to learn English fluently, committing to 1 hour of study every morning. Now imagine this: your friend sends you a random video and you watch it for 45 minutes. A cousin invites you to hang out and you go even though you're utterly exhausted. Someone calls and talks for an hour about trivial gossip and you listen politely. What has occurred? You said yes to distractions and, by extension, a resounding no to your dream. This is what cripples progress. Not malicious intent, but an overwhelming accumulation of small, seemingly insignificant distractions. Trading drama and gossip for peace of mind. Trading too many responsibilities for time to grow. Trading unnecessary obligations for freedom to choose. Trading random content and endless scrolling for focus and fluency. Trading doing what's easy for becoming the person you dream of being. You are fundamentally defined not by what you say yes to, but by what you are brave enough to say no to. When you say no, you are not being unkind. You are being crystal clear. You are signaling to the world, I am no longer available for things that drain or waste my precious life. And when you master that, you finally create the essential space to say a powerful yes to your dreams, yes to your growth, and yes to becoming the person you truly aspire to be. Chapter 9, and then you die. Death is the profound light by which the ephemeral shadow of all life's meaning is measured. This is the concluding chapter, and Mark Manson deliberately chooses not to end the book with a conventional motivational cheer. He ends it with the stark reality of death. Why? Because when you truly, deeply comprehend death, you finally begin to grasp how to truly live. What if you depart this world with your most profound dreams still locked inside you? This chapter compels you to confront the uncomfortable truth that most people actively avoid, that you are not immortal, that one day you will be gone, that all your current worries, fears, doubts, overthinking, and pride will ultimately mean absolutely nothing once you are gone. But instead of inducing despair, this chapter achieves the opposite effect. It serves as a powerful awakening. It forces you to ask, with urgent sincerity, what am I truly doing with this one short, beautiful, irreplaceable life? Take a moment to walk through a cemetery. Every tombstone bears a name, a birth year, a death year, and one small, unassuming line in the middle, a dash. That dash represents everything. Everything they ever did, everything they ever felt. All the love, the pain, the memories, the successes, the failures, all encapsulated within that single dash. Now ask yourself with unflinching honesty, what will my dash represent? Will it represent a life consumed by fear? Or will it represent a life defined by courage? Will it be filled with endless distractions? Or will it be filled with profound purpose? Will it silently declare, they wasted their time? Or will it proudly proclaim, they lived fully and left something meaningful behind? Imagine you have a story within you waiting to be written, a novel the world desperately needs to hear. You tell yourself, I'll write it someday. But someday never arrives. You remain perpetually busy. You keep delaying. And then life ends, and that unwritten story dies with you. Now, replace story with your deepest dream, your truest love, your authentic truth, your unique art, your inherent power, your distinctive voice, your goal of English fluency, your ultimate purpose. If you do not act upon it now, you might never act upon it at all. The common delusion is, I have time. The truth is, you don't know how much time you truly have. The procrastination, I'll start later, is met with the grim reality that later might never come. The fear, I'm scared of judgment, is countered by the truth that you'll be gone one day. And then, will judgment truly matter? The apprehension, people will laugh if I try, is answered with the fact that they'll eventually forget. But you will forever live with the bitter taste of regret. The resignation, it's too late to change, is powerfully dismissed. As long as you are breathing, it is never too late. You will die, but you absolutely do not have to live like you are already dead. Use your precious time. Speak your authentic truth. Learn what you've been too scared to learn. Create what you were born to create. Be who you were too afraid to become. And when your final day inevitably arrives, let it find you living vibrantly, not hiding away. This is not just a book about not caring. It is a profound guide about caring about the right things, about living with unwavering clarity, unflinching honesty, laser focus, and boundless freedom. So, do not care about being popular. Do not care about being perfect. Do not care about looking cool. Do not care about what others expect of you. Instead, care deeply about becoming your most powerful, peaceful, and purposeful self. Care about the legacy you will leave behind. Care about what genuinely matters before your invaluable time irrevocably runs out.